Last week on the show, I went off on a tangent about announcer Angus from Winnipeg Pro Wrestling. We're talking about IPW New Zealand this week. I'm not so sure if you'll get that same kind of reaction, but you'll get all the passion and all the love that you're expected right here on Ring Respect Radio. And that means, boom, just like that. It's Thursday night, and you know what that means. Well, hopefully you do. But if not, we're going to educate you. It is time to party with us. We're the Video Bros. I'm Bobby Munson, and the man sitting beside me, he's the man with the angelic voice. He's Papa Spokes. Papa Spokes, happy Thursday. How you doing, brother?
Woo, happy Thursday to you, Munson. There's nowhere I'd rather be than on Ring Respect Radio on Ole Podcast, doing another episode here. Man, how long has it been since we've missed the Thursday live, Munson? It's got to be years and years.
You know what, Papa Smokes? I'm thinking back to the last time I missed a Thursday, myself personally, would have been, I think it was this time exactly 2 years ago. I was in Regina at a conference, and I missed, in fact, 1 week away from that exactly that it's been, because I was at a conference and you had Ed fill in that night, and that was the first time that you guys covered chaotic wrestling on the show. And let me tell you something, Papa Smokes, I heard a little rumor from Ed that Chaotic Wrestling is going to be live in 1 week's time on Friday night with Cold Fury live on Twitch and YouTube. So we're going to be able to check that out. And I'm hoping that we can extend that invite to Mr. Ed Fries to join us the following Thursday here on Ring Respect Radio to talk a little Chaotic Wrestling. I think that would be a good idea if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure to have Ed working with us here and providing his unique insights. And not to mention, that's Ed's home indie promotion. So he goes to the shows live. He's got that awesome perspective on chaotic wrestling. Love to have Ed aboard.
All right. And you know what, Pop Smokes? Let's go ahead. We got somebody in the chat already here joining us. Let my eyes adjust here to read the name for a second. I don't want to do you an injustice here. It's Lakin Does Gaming. I hope I got that right. Lakin Does Gaming, chatting for the very first time here on Ring Respect Radio. Thank you for showing up. Appreciate you. Make sure that you stay lively in the chat here tonight. We love having new people here joining us on a Thursday night. Bob Spokes, before we even get talking about our main subject of the night, which is IPW New Zealand, which I know a lot of people are going to be coming over to check out here right away. We'll have nothing but love and respect for all our New Zealand friends. But I got a little promoting I got to do here first. But before that, speaking of good people, the Mangler's in the house joining us. Yes, Mangler, our good friend. Hello, gentlemen. We appreciate you keeping us entertained every Thursday. Hey, we appreciate all of you out there that like to be entertained by us every single Thursday because you make the difference. We thank you for being here with us. And I'm going to go. It's time for shameless promotion time with Bobby right now, Pop Smoke, because coming up live Saturday, April the 4th. I almost did us a mistake there because we got two shows in April, but Saturday, April the 4th, we are going to be live in Saskatoon back at the Cosmos Senior Center with Prairie Pro Wrestling. And yes, Papa Smokes, we know that Riley Cruz earned himself another chance at the PPW Championship. Will it be at this show? The only way to find out is to get your tickets now on sale. Those seats are selling fast, so make sure if you haven't got yours yet, reach out to Prairie Pro Wrestling on social media to book yours today. We say hello to Zack, who's in the chat as well, too. Saying hello to you, Zack. Thank you very much for showing up. Papa Smokes, how excited are you for more Prairie Pro Wrestling action?
Extremely excited. And after the long wait we had from the beginning of December to the end of February, now it seems like this show is coming up much more quickly. And I love it because we had hot and awesome action last time. I can't even wait to see what's in store this time. You and I also had some action and excitement tonight, calling a big PPW match, a historic and a tremendous PPW match.
Yes, indeed, we did, Papa Smokes. We just got done running the commentary for that hellacious Prairie Pro Wrestling cage matchup between Michael Allen, Richard Clark, and the challenger Al Assassino. And hellacious doesn't even do it justice, Papa Smokes. But I just double checking because I'd like to give our fans a little bit of an idea when they can catch that matchup live on our YouTube channel. And I'd say, looking at the calendar here, just getting her loaded on up, we have got one more match coming out for you this coming Saturday, which is also for the Ring of Horrors. Hey, it's Basser in the house. Basser, what's up, brothers? Good to see you. So this coming Saturday on the PPW YouTube channel, Papa Smokes, people are going to be able to enjoy the tag team title matchup between the Short Kings and Parr Lira. So again, lots of excitement going into this Saturday, but the following Saturday, the one after this coming Saturday, mark it on your calendars, folks. It is Saturday the 14th. And we're going to be getting El Asesino, Michael Allen, Richard Clark in one of the most violent, one of the most jaw-dropping cage matches that you're going to be able to see on YouTube. You don't want to miss it. And if you missed it live, you got to see it. If you saw it live, you got to see the video footage of it, because Papa Smokes, that match is something else.
It certainly is something else, and it's not for the faint of heart whatsoever. I mean, we watched this live. We did the camera work live for this match and everything, but it didn't sink in until we watched it again, did the commentary for it, how truly brutal this match is, how much hate and frustration and anger there is trapped inside that steel cage with these two wrestlers who, I'll say it again, they straight out hate each other's guts. And we know this, it goes beyond the wrestling ring. It goes into regular life as well. These two will never get along. They're the opposite person. So when they collide in the wrestling ring, it's always a brutal affair. But lock these two animals in a steel cage, you're going to see what happens. It gets ugly in a big hurry.
You bet, yeah. So you can catch that on Prairie Pro Wrestling's YouTube channel, like I said, on Saturday the 14th. If you want to witness that hellacious first ever cage match in Prairie Pro Wrestling history, join myself and Papa Smokes that Saturday as that match takes off on our YouTube channel. Hello to Harleen Singh in the house here tonight.
Hello.
How's it going, fellas? I'm doing absolutely phenomenal. Papa Smokes, it's been getting nicer and nicer outside. The days are getting longer. My energy's up like it hasn't been up in a long time, my man.
No, same with me. I know that the long, cold, dark winter is hard on all of us sometimes up here in the wind-swept plains of Western Canada. It can be tough mentally as well. The nights are very, very long, very, very cold. But like you said, we're coming out of it. It's the beginning of March now. The end of winter is in sight, and people's spirits are starting to lift. You start seeing more people out and about on the streets, getting out to do the things they like. That's only going to improve once all this tremendous amount of snow we have melts. This city's going to come alive, and with it, you know that the wrestling fans will be out in full force as usual over at the Cosmo Senior Center for PPW Wrestling. Can't wait. Isn't it going to be a great summer, Munson?
It's going to be fantastic. Yes, and again, like we said, Saturday, April 4th, we got those tickets on sale now. And I probably should drop this one right before we go start and talk about IPW, because for anybody who's going to be in Saskatoon on Saturday, April the 18th, and you don't mind skipping the big show that day, you don't mind not tuning in to the big Hollywood production of Garbage, then you can join us live at, I want to call it the Sask Place, Papa Smokes, because that's starting to show my age, but live at the SaskTel Center in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, during the Saskatchewan Rush Lacrosse game in the National Lacrosse League. It is going to be 3 matches, count them, 1, 2, 3 matches from Prairie Pro Wrestling in the big stadium. Goddamn, I'm excited.
And what an opportunity for Prairie Pro Wrestling, a small upstart company some years ago, but we're building so much momentum. Now playing at the lacrosse game. Now lacrosse might not be a huge sport in the area where all our listeners are listening from, but up here lacrosse is big. We have thousands and thousands of people out to the big arena for these games. We're going to have all kinds of eyeballs on PPW Wrestling. We've already seen some of the drama that's going to lead into these matches at SaskTel Center as well, with the mascots for the teams being involved, various wrestlers involved, various bad blood going on here too. It's going to be wild. It's going to be electric, and a whole lot of people are going to be watching.
You could say it's Prairie Pro Wrestling's Rushomania live in Saskatoon, as that is what it's going to be called. We are going to have tons of eyes on the prize there that night. And again, they stream that other stuff. It's available afterwards. Come to the live wrestling action in your city and watch the other stuff later that night. Come and enjoy indie pro wrestling at its absolute finest. I can't wait, Papa Smokes. And that brings us to tonight's conversation of IPW New Zealand, our good friends over in New Zealand. Yes, IPW, as always, you can catch these matches on their YouTube channel, absolutely free. They're gracious enough to put these together and do these phenomenal edits. Hey, can I not say enough about just how well these are edited, not only the matchups, but even that intro that Jake Shehaan has put together there for us and the team that works on these things. Absolutely dynamite work from our friends over in IPW.
Always a great product from these guys, not only in the ring and the booking and the management and all that, but the production behind the scenes. These guys put out a top-notch indie product from way down under in New Zealand, in the land of the Kiwis. It comes straight to us on the internet. You can watch it all the time. And Munson, since you've opened my eyes to New Zealand wrestling, it's been a really, really fun and rewarding thing. I'm so glad we're covering and reviewing these shows on our channel. Very worthy of more attention.
Yeah, you bet. So anybody who doesn't yet, go check out IPW NZ on demand over at YouTube. That's where you can find IPW matchups. That's where you're going to find this great stuff. Go subscribe to their YouTube channel and make sure that you're checking it out and showing them a lot of love from wherever you are in the world. Tell them that Bobby and Papa from Ring Respect Radio sent you on over. Now let's talk about the matches. Normally in this point of time, we would go into a conversation about the lay of the land, where the building's held. But again, folks, if you want that, Papa Smokes has been laying that down quite a bit. You can check out our other IPW reviews right here on the channel, and you can go and check those out, find out all about a little history and a little bit of the lay of land of Auckland, New Zealand, as Papa Smokes loves to deliver. So, Papa Smokes, I think we're going to forego that here tonight because we've done it enough times. You've given it pretty much of the encyclopedia's worth of Auckland, New Zealand history here on the channel. So let's get right into the meat of the matter. And it's Winter Warfare 2025. We open up with a singles match between Toothless Nico Bell taking on Pat Shisk. And again, we got familiar more so with these two over in SPW. Completely different situation over there with Toothless Nico Bell being a heel, Pat Shisk being a little bit more on the babyface side as of late. Over here, complete opposite when we get into this thing. Toothless Nico Bell, absolutely loved and adored by the IPW New Zealand audience. And great, we get to see him in tag team action over in SPW when we watch him. But here in IPW, first time getting to see him in singles action. And I got to say, the more I'm watching Nico Bell, the more I'm enjoying Nico Bell. He really knows how to put on a show. He does a great job here. Pat Shisk carries himself excellently in the ring. This was a good, strong back and forth from these two gentlemen. And as always, we talk about that booking on a card and needing to have that strong opening match that gets the crowd pumped. This didn't have to have the super high-flying type of energy, but it was a great way to open up the card because these two went and put on a great competitive matchup between the two of them. Of course, in the end, we ended up with the victor being Pat Shisk by a pinfall, but not before having Toothless Nico Bell look very excellent throughout this thing. Great way to start off the show.
Yeah, very much so. I like this match as a first match on the card. Did the trick, got the crowd all warmed up, had one of their big favorites in Toothless Nico Bell. Bell, of course, appealing to us Canadians with that hockey player kind of look to him. He's got a tooth missing in the front, just like a hockey player, coming out in the jersey and the pads and all that stuff. I really like that. Shisk comes out looking huge. I mean, they got some big boys down here in New Zealand, I'll tell you what. And Shisk looking like the less experienced of the two wrestlers, with a big height and weight advantage in this one. Bell brings a whole bunch of energy to the beginning of this match. They wrestle for a little bit. Shisk takes over with strength and slows down the match a little bit. Shisk has a real nice move that's a full vertical suplex, but then he turns and just throws Bell across the ring. Whoa, I enjoyed that move quite a lot. Shisk also had another nice low lariat kind of thing that they were calling a double barrel lariat. Man, that hit with some force. That one almost knocked the rest of Bell's teeth out. But Shisk going for his patented toothpick kick and not catching that completely. Shisk catches him and gives him his finisher known as the bomb track, which is another beautiful move, which is kind of a variation on a pile driver. I've seen Brody King use this move to tremendous devastation on his opponents before, and Shisk nailed this one all the way. So very convincing win from Pat Shisk. 9-minute match approximately. So there's your opening match. Nothing, no titles, no feud, no angle exactly, but something that showcases two up-and-comers that they have, and a match that gets Shisk over without making Bell look weak in the meantime. Did the trick perfectly, warmed up the crowd. This beautiful New Zealand crowd that were very vocal again. Some more funny vocalizations audible to the viewer even over YouTube. So excellent.
This was off the hook for the audience throughout the night. And there's that one lady in particular, and I hope this video gets to her or someone knows who it is, but you can audibly hear her throughout the entire show. It's like having somebody on commentary throughout the entire damn thing.
Yeah,
she is hilarious through this night.
Yeah. We'll try and get some quotes from her later, but she makes her voice known throughout this, as most of the fans try to. I wonder if she's sitting near one of the microphones or something.
She's got to be. If she's not close, then that's even that much more impressive. If her voice is carrying that well, like that is phenomenal. What wasn't phenomenal is the fate of young Joseph Cruz in our next matchup, Papa Smokes, when he was going to be taking on Pariah, accompanied by Dr. Adams. I mean, we've seen Cruz kind of pushed into the limelight here as part of a group with Perfect Peter Parr and Jack Maximum, and they've kind of put him into these tough situations. And of course, once again, Joseph Cruz having to go out against this monster, this absolute psychopath Pariah, and the chains come off. Cruz does everything he can off the hop in this thing to try to avoid Pariah and get a few little shots in here and there. But ultimately, as soon as Pariah gets his damn hands on Cruz, he just decimates him. And this was over fairly damn quickly.
Yeah, no mystery as to what this match was intended to do. And Joseph Cruz, it works out perfectly because Cruz is kind of allied with the Sigma Collective here, but not quite accepted as a full member yet. And we don't know what's going to go on with that, but he's kind of got a little bit of a stooge thing going on. So the perfect victim for Pariah, who seems to be getting a huge push. This massive man, this Hannibal Lecter type insane character with the mask and being tied up and chained down and all the rest of it. Pariah attacks like a maniac at the beginning of this match. It's only 2 minutes long. He's got a nice finisher, which lands perfectly in this match. Kind of like a black hole slam, but it's the choke slam version of it, holding him by the goozle pipe, as we like to say in the business. So Pariah looking huge, unstoppable in this victory. Joseph Cruz looking like the stooge that he is in IPW at this time. So no huge drama in this match. Pariah goes over quickly. 2-minute squash match. He looks unstoppable at this point. So perhaps moving up the card, looking for new victims in the future. What's next for Pariah and Dr. Adams?
Who knows? But like you said, there's a lot of big boys out there in New Zealand, so I'm curious to see when someone matches size for size with Pariah moving forward. But up next on this card, Papa Smokes, we initially had this set to be an open challenge from the tag team of SAS, Alex Savage and Will Stone, but we get the announcement, Will Stone unavailable due to injury. Damn, man. I wish he was in the chat right now so we could have a conversation about him getting better soon. No, Alex Savage and Will Stone were originally going to set an open challenge in the tag division, but because of the absence of Will Stone, Alex Savage sets an open challenge, and he gets Kurt Brown, social media influencer Kurt Brown. We're seeing this gimmick coming up a lot more. We've seen it very heavily from Jose Zamora, who I think does it absolutely brilliantly over in Chaotic Wrestling. Kurt Brown, we've seen him a couple times now, not as familiar with him doing the gimmick just yet, but he seems to be doing a very similar thing, but he has his own camera operator instead of wearing the body cam like Zamora does when he does his version of it. But I do like the interaction there with the camera operator, calling to him at points, like, make sure you get this shot or whatever kind of thing. And, I like that David Dunn was putting over the idea that maybe tonight that we would get to see one of those moments, those viral moments happen in this matchup with Kurt Brown and Alex Savage. We know Savage just hot off of losing that cash in at the previous event, not coming up with the championship in that when he made it a triple threat with Jayrilla and James Shaw. He was the one to end up getting pinned by the Great Ape, but he wants to, get himself back in his winning ways. This was a great match back and forth. These two did a very good job. A little bit of contrasting styles, but it works very well. Savage is a fantastic heel. Kurt Brown is making a pretty decent run as a babyface so far. And then, of course, we get some music playing when it looks like Savage was going to put this to rest. And all of a sudden, the boys in New Blood come out, and they're just going to hang out at the top of the stage to catch a look at the rest of this matchup. They didn't have to wait very long, because just as Savage would turn around, he meets the boot of big Kurt Brown, and Kurt Brown does get a viral moment with a massive win here over Alex Savage. Your thoughts, Papa Smokes? This one was quite a lot going on, but quite incredible.
Yeah, very cool match. And I guess something must have been thrown into the spokes of what they intended to do in this match. It was going to be a tag team type situation here, but without Will Power, we got a singles match instead. Still going with the open challenge kind of thing. I like Alex Savage so much as a heel. I mean, he looks the part so perfectly. I love his presentation. He's got kind of the blow-dried back hair with the graying hair, the sideburns, the cigar, and everything. I mean, he looks like an experienced heel from the smoky bingo halls of New Zealand. He looks like he's been around the block a million times. He looks like the kind of guy that, lacking some physical gifts, he's the guy that knows how to beat anyone in the ring just because he's done it so many times.
You could say, Papa Smokes, that he's very much a fan of a very famous Canadian bub.
Okay, sure. Well, we could say that for sure. But I also like Kurt Brown a whole bunch because he's a big, athletic, good-looking young kid. He looks like he's newer to the business, but he's got all that fire and that enthusiasm to him. He comes out with just great babyface feel to him. You can tell that the crowd feels that as well. He's got the whole social media gimmick, but that's kind of working in his favor as a babyface. Alex Savage is a good worker, likes to interact with the fans. You see him, he's got that heel offense. He's always choking and stomping and kicking in the groin and gouging the eyes and all that stuff. And then he'll just turn to the fans and, "Who's the man?" And all they react to that. And he's a master of working. And yeah, there we go. He's got the classic heel flavor for sure. Thank you very much, Mangler. Excellent comment. But Alex Savage can't outrun the karma that he's left back in the dressing room and from previous shows. So New Blood come out. They're not finished with Alex Savage and Will Power. So even though this is a singles match, New Blood are going to inject themselves into this match. Didn't need to do anything physical, just came out, and with the distraction, Kurt Brown hits that bicycle kick, gets the 1, 2, 3, and all the crowd enjoys the momentum of this awesome-looking young wrestler getting a big win over a seasoned veteran. Doesn't hurt Alex any at all to take this pinfall because he's firmly entrenched in the tag team scene. But they put the rub on Kurt Brown. So there, young guy gets a good big win in front of the crowd, in front of the world on YouTube. Awesome, and very interesting booking. There, they've got put the shine on this young guy, and he looks good in this match.
Yeah, it was a well placed, well done. Love every bit of it. And yes, of course, Alex Savage with a little bit of that Wolverine flavor about him. But you know
For
that
sure.
wasn't going to be the last time we're going to see some of these gentlemen tonight. We'll talk about that shortly. Up next, it's my turn on the show to eat a little bit of crow, Papa Smokes. If we rewind to 1 week ago, I did a whole lot of smack talking when it comes to fatal four-way matchups in pro wrestling and how I am so tired of fatal four-way matchups, and I didn't want to have to see another fatal four-way matchup. And lo and behold, Papa Smokes, the next card and the next match on this card is a fatal four-way matchup. And even more crow to eat, it features four of my absolute favorite people on the matchup on top of it. And I'm thinking to myself, how am I going to get around this? Well, the only way I can get around this is to say, again, it's four of my favorite people, but in this situation, there was a title on the line. There was something to fight for. It's the Warner Cup. Everybody wants to hold that Warner Cup, get to it, because it does mean that you'll get a championship opportunity at the eliminator like Jayrilla did when he won the championship. You've also got four big names in there, which does help the situation. But in this particular situation, it was hard to even see it as a fatal four-way at first, because we got James Shaw coming out with Bishop Shaw. We got Sir Mr. Burns out there, the greatest defensive wrestler on the planet. We got Horus coming out, and we got Jake Sheehan coming out. And again, we know that James Shaw and Sir Mr. Burns bring together church and state. So they're going to work together. They're going to cooperate. And we saw that for a good portion of this fatal four-way. It looked more like a tornado tag team matchup for the first 3 quarters of this matchup than it looked like a fatal four-way matchup, until, of course, you get that dissension between Sir Mr. Burns and James Shaw finally, where each one of them believes the other one is going to lay down for the other person to get the easy pinfall. But Sir Mr. Burns claimed that James Shaw agreed that that Shaw was going to lay down, and Shaw thought differently, that Sir Mr. Burns was going to lay down for him, because already Sir Mr. Burns has that contract to cash in for a championship opportunity. So that's when the conflict collides. That's when the fatal four-way portion of this really starts off, in my personal opinion. But it was about as good as a fatal four-way is ever going to get for me. And that's a lot of this is because of who's in it. We get a new Warner Cup winner in the form of Horus through this thing, and it creates that back and forth tension between church and state at the same time. So I'm going to pick the positives out of it. I am going to say that, again, I find these matches difficult because I want to see different from my wrestling. That's just me. Not a big fatal four-way guy, but again, if I had to say that I liked one, this is as close as it's going to get to me really liking one this year.
Sure. And like you say, 4 of your favorite New Zealand wrestlers are in this match. Same thing for me as well. Like the most talented of the whole batch are in this match, basically. Both baby faces are extremely effective. Sheehan and Horus, very good at what they do. Very popular amongst the crowd. On the other side, Shaw and Sir Mr. Burns, equally awesome at being the slimiest heels possible. And the crowd, this fact is not lost on the crowd. They absolutely hate these two. You know, Sir Mr. Burns, when he comes out with those little white trunks with vote burns on the ass of them, and then he's doing that weird strut and wiggling his butt to the crowd. It's so creepy. I mean, it's just so distasteful. I don't even know how to get around it. And then Shaw is the same way. He's so slimy. He's such a con artist. You know he's lying to you all the time. He's always talking to the crowd and always lying and just conniving to get his way all the time. So this clash in this match is going to be pretty good. We would see Burns and Shaw trying to work together for a bit, successfully for a little bit at the beginning. Then that spiraled down to each of them trying to get the other one to lay down for the pinfall, to give the other one the pinfall, and neither being willing to do it, both having that wrestler's pride. I will not lose. I will not be pinned if I have the power to avoid that or to kick out. So interesting little action in this match. Loved the crowds started singing during this, and they were singing, "Oh, Sir Mr. Burns sucks." I can't sing the whole song. I have the feeling it's a sports song of some kind that they changed the lyrics to. But "Oh, Sir Mr. Burns sucks."
Yeah.
Loving to
Oh,
hear that.
Sir Mr. Burns sucks.
Yes,
Oh,
okay.
Sir Mr. Burns
Thank you.
sucks.
Thank you, because I was loving that song. It also reminds me of our Prairie Pro Wrestling crowd who like to get together and amuse themselves and amuse each other with their vocalizations. Great, great stuff. But yes, a very competitive and interesting match coming down to the end with Horus hitting his down with the sickness DDT on Mr. Burns and catching the pinfall. Now he's got the Warner Cup raised over his head and he yells out to the crowd, "I want my belt back." So here we go. We're starting a new story there. Horus is coming for Jayrilla, and Jayrilla better get ready because he hasn't been defeated yet in IPW, but he's got a very, very game challenger coming for him, a very motivated challenger, and someone who's held that title before and wants it back in a bad way.
But keep in mind, at the same time, that Warner Cup is vulnerable. Horus has to be able to defend it along this path as well, too. So he has got a long path to go to end up against Jayrilla, and that's pending Jayrilla holds on to the belts at that time as well, too. A lot can happen in that stream. And yes, I'm not doubting for a second the Horus is going to make his way back there, Pop Smokes. And I don't doubt for a second that he could easily be holding that Warner Cup when it comes time for that big matchup. And again, on the contrary to that, I feel that Jayrilla is going to be a hard object to beat because this is a big man. He is a spectacle, and we're going to be talking about him very soon. Make sure you stay in tune to the end of the show to get a little bit of conversation in on the Great Ape, the legendary big man in IPW. Going on to our next match of the night, Papa Smokes, it is Jackson Graves taking on Anthony Khan. And again, this one, I like this one enough. This was a good matchup. Right placement on the card, breaking up the things we're going to see in terms of like different styles of matchups. It gave us another good 1v1 matchup on this one. Yo, Ed Fry's in the house. Here he is. Hey, fellas, checking in while 2K26 downloads. You get your download on, Ed.
Ooh.
Glad you could be here with us. Yeah, 2K26, I guess, dropping today for anybody interested in playing that game. I know Ed's going to be rocking that thing hard for sure. But yeah, Pop Smokes, I think this one was a good, serviceable matchup. Again, gave us a one-on-one matchup, which we like to see. Anthony Khan getting a pinfall, allowing him to get a little bit more of a boost as well, too. So for his group Khan Capital, after the match, Khan Capital, then take Jackson Graves, especially Megan Kate, pulls him into that move with the arms behind the back and then gives him that big old nasty curb stomp. She has got no fucks to give when it comes to people in this company. She is willing to hurt somebody. And before I get to your comments, Papa Spokes, Melball's in the house as well too. Melball, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night. Your thoughts on this matchup, Papa Smokes?
Yeah, this was a good match to put in this spot on the card, I would say. Only 4 minutes long. Didn't need to be any longer than that. They didn't need to do a whole bunch of moves for this or anything. This was a match to put over Anthony Khan and to raise the stock of Khan Capital, who have been really just running a lot of mayhem in IPW over the past year or so. Jackson Graves, not a bad talent as well. We didn't get to see much of his stuff in this. I liked the commentary from David Dunn when he said Khan is building up some water in the basement on Jackson Graves. Very cool statement, very interesting commentary from our friend David Dunn.
Dunn is awesome.
Yeah, he's really good. He was by himself for this one too. That can't be easy.
No, not at all.
But this was a 4-minute quick match. Khan hits a modified go to sleep kind of a move with a knee to the head. Jackson Graves out, gets the pinfall, gets the humiliating beatdown from the rest of the Khan Capital faction afterwards, including that very unsportsmanlike move by Megan Kate afterwards, but her showing that she means business. She's not going to just stay in the ladies division. She's going to do whatever the hell she feels like doing. So Jackson Graves got in the way of Con Capital. He pays the price, takes the loss in a quick win, or a quick loss, I should say. But Con Capital looking to build something in the new year. We're going to see what happens with them in the future.
You bet. Yeah. Going on from there, our next matchup, Papa Smokes, we had tag team matchup. It's the team of Short Tempered. That is Liger and Matty Short taking on New Blood, Kid Nova, and Zack, Hale. We know New Blood are trying to get themselves back into that title picture. They want the Itiora. I hope I said it right this time. I'm doing my best to listen in every time they say it. I'm trying hard. So New Zealand, please don't harp too much hate on me. I am going to get that right one day, and hopefully it was getting a little better. But those tag team titles, they want to get back in that picture. You know that earlier they cost Alex Savage his singles matchup. He's one half of the tag team champions with Will Stone. Would it be... Yeah, it is a great name, actually. I like the Short Temper name, especially considering it's Liger, who is a big lucha guy, and then Matty Short, he's a short, dancing, comical, interesting character, but Short Tempered, great tag team, as a great tag team name, as Mel is saying. And this was a good, solid tag team matchup, Papa Smokes. This was a lot of Matty Short in this thing as well too. He did a lot of bumping throughout this matchup, and again, the more I watch him, the more entertaining I'm finding Matty Short to be. He's usually a guy who would probably irritate me, but for some reason he's got that just right amount of charisma where I'm being drawn into his comical tactics, but he backs it up with being good at being in these matchups, good at bumping along the way. This was a solid tag team matchup, and I kept thinking, will Alex Savage find his way out? Will he get involved in this thing? And then he didn't. New Blood picking up a much-needed victory to get themselves back in the conversation for the tag team title picture, but Short Temper doing a fantastic job. Great back and forth between them, and it's after the match. New Blood get on the microphone, and they're offering a challenge to SAS. They want at the very next event the infamous Fans Bring the Weapons matchup for the tag team titles. This is something we saw a year ago take place for the first time with the ladies in IPW, Papa Smokes, where Megan Kate became the first ever 5-time women's champion. Now, the New Blood want SAS in the Fans Bring the Weapons matchup, and we got our answer because Alex Savage comes from a sneak attack with a kendo stick and beats the living piss out of New Blood in this thing. This, to be honest with you, this was probably one of my favorite matchups and aftermaths of the entire night.
Sure, and you talked a little bit about Matty Short. We've seen him on a few of these cards in the past. I got to say, typically that's not the type of wrestler I tend to gravitate towards. However, Matty Short is good at what he does. His sexy boy image and his dancing kind of goes perfectly with his kind of everyman appearance. He's got a spare tire and a gut hanging out, and he doesn't care. He's just got the whole feel of it. He's dancing, he's gyrating those hips. The crowd eats it up. They love it every time. Liger is also a big favorite amongst these fans, probably for different reasons. He's a big, kind of more of a monster type character. Man, he's got to be IPW's big chop master. Hey,
yeah.
Some of those chest slaps he was doing, you could hear it like it was echoing all throughout the building. But the fans, both these teams are popular amongst IPW fans, but both teams also wanting to get back into that title picture. And New Blood, you can see, really want to get back there. They want their titles back, so they weren't going to be denied in this match. But they didn't have an easy road to victory either. You had mentioned that Alex Savage did not come down and interfere during this match. You got to think that maybe that might have been the better move. Come down and interfere and cost New Money that match, keeping them a little further away possibly from a tag team title shot. Instead, he chooses to come out after the match and really just stick the needle into the wounds those kendo stick shots, again, ringing out like gunshots throughout the venue. And some of those shots left marks on the backs of New Blood. They won't be forgetting that. But has he just kicked a hornet's nest? Has he just stirred up the anger and the volatility of New Blood? We're going to see. I have the feeling Alex Savage might regret some of his actions tonight, maybe having the opposite effect of what he intended.
We definitely will find out. And while you were talking to Papa Smokes, I just came up with a great new nickname for Liger, and it's Hats, Hats, because he's a heavy ass titty slapper, that boy. So yeah, I got a pop out of you, Papa Smokes. Yeah, not too bad. All right. We'll roll with it. He's a Hats man. Up next on this card, we have a 3 versus 3 intergender tag team matchup. It is Meg and Kate, who we saw curb stomping people to right through the ring earlier on, teaming up with the Sigma Collective, Jack Maximum and Perfect Peter Parr, taking on Mighty Maia, Vinny Dunn, and Raven. We've seen Raven hit the scene as of late, becoming very popular, and you heard it from the audience in this crowd, just how popular they have become as a wrestler in IPW. So great work there. Vinny Dunn, always popular, and Mighty Maia, man. Mighty Maia gets a massive pop every time. Mighty Maia, okay, we love a good tenderizing of the titties. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. That is what we love as wrestling fans. But yes, so on the other side, like, again, we've got Mighty Maia has never been beaten since coming to IPW. I believe that was the comment made. So she is really making a mark in this company. We now see her across the ring from the women's champion in this thing as well, too, kind of leading their teams, you would say, here tonight into battle. And what a battle it was. This was a great 3 versus 3 matchup. Sometimes these things can become a little bit of a cluster, but I thought everybody here did a fantastic job, and I found myself enjoying it as well, too. We know that Perfect Peter Parr, for the time that we've been reviewing a lot of his stuff, we said there's a momentum there, and he hasn't been the guy picking up the victories, but it's only a matter of time before something sticks and it starts to work. And his thing that he's got going with Jack Maximum with the Stigma Collective here, I believe, is starting to come together quite nicely. Sorry, the Sigma Collective. I said Stigma is Sigma Collective, but I think that's coming together very, very well. And we actually saw Perfect Peter Parr pick up the victory for his team in this matchup as well, too. So I think that now that this is starting to stick and starting to work, we can see that the company's trust in the development of Perfect Peter Parr coming together and picking up a big victory here in this one. This was solid, especially for a 3 versus 3 match. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, same. And we had lots of different types of wrestlers, lots of different types of styles in this match, but they really brought it together and made it work throughout this. We saw Meg and Kate and Vinny Dunn go at it pretty hard at the beginning of this match. They've had issues in the past. If you follow IPW, you know that they're grumpy with each other. Jack Maximum always looks good to me. He's a big guy. He looks like a football offensive lineman. Got that kind of a build. One note that I enjoyed from Jack Maximum is he did some push-ups on Vinny Dunn, but he puts one hand on Dunn's throat while he's doing them. Ooh, that adds a little bit of spice to the whole thing. Dunn also took a potato somewhere in this match. He had a nice bloody nose. That's always fun to finish a match with. Mighty Maia looking awesome. She's a powerhouse. We've mentioned this before. She reminds me of Western Canadian ladies talent, the matriarch. Similar body type, big and strong, similar aggressive attack. Really liking Mighty Maia. I also like Raven, popular with the crowd, gets a big reaction every time. And then I got to bring up the sign, Munson. I'm sure you saw the sign in the crowd. Can I say it? The crowd said, "Scissor us, Raven."
Yep.
And I have a huge LOL written in my notes next to that because that was tickling my funny bone as well. Sure, Raven appreciated that one.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Parr hitting the ultra small package, which is quite funny as well. getting the pinfall, and maintaining that momentum. I think he looks good. I think Peter Parr looks awesome. He's a big, tall guy. He gets wrestling. He's got a nice style. He's quite fluid. His timing is really good in the ring. Looking good, picking up this pin in this match. The heels go over in this, and the baby pieces are left to put the pieces back together.
You bet. And so there we have it. We now come to our main event of the evening. This match is scheduled for one fall.
One fall.
And I wish I would have known the time limit, because that's something we should have mentioned this whole time, Papa Smokes, is every time they'd say the time limit, the IPW fans are yelling, time limit. I thought that had me chuckling throughout this entire card. But here we are. It is the IPW. It is New Zealand's Heavyweight Championship, and it is going to be the Great Ape Jayrilla with Benny Keane at his side, taking on Liam Erikson, who comes out with James Shaw and Bishop Shaw. Yes, at his side. Yes, all the falls are happening. But yes, the championship on the line for the first time since Jayrilla has become the champion, and Liam Erikson is a big man. We're used to seeing people in this ring that give up a lot of size when taking on Jayrilla. But Liam Erikson, while not quite as wide, he is actually taller than Jayrilla. He physically looks like a guy who could take the Great Ape off his feet, something that nobody has been able to properly do yet. And man, these big boys fought hard, Papa Smokes. We really saw the Great Ape taking some damage from Liam Erikson in this matchup. They got to a point where Jayrilla was inviting the shots from Liam Erikson because he has not been hit like that or pressed like that. And it only made the Great Ape angrier, and it made him more furious, and it made it feel like he grew another 4 goddamn feet that night, because suddenly Liam Erikson started feeling small in this matchup, and the Great Ape went to town, bulldozed this man, and retained his damn title. Again, I like this because now they're feeding some physical forces to the Great Ape at this time. You know that they got to get some strong defenses in there. You know that they're going to build to guys who can then start to find a competitive way to work with Jay in the ring. But I like the journey we have been on, the slow burn to get Jay to that position as the IPW champion, and now working it over into having him now get bigger challenges. You talk about the size of the wrestlers in New Zealand. I mean, they're almost as big as our good friends podcast, the Grainmaker podcast. Blair joining us here. Evening, fellas. Hope things are good. Thank you for stopping by. As always, love and support to you, your podcast, as well as all your work there at Winnipeg Pro Wrestling. But yeah, Papa Smokes, these two big men put on a great, entertaining fight at the end of the night. And this was a great way to give the Great Ape an opportunity for a strong, challenging title defense and to really solidify this guy and continue to. I feel this is the moment, the projection we're going to be on is to solidify the Great Ape is now the unbeatable champion. And what is it going to take, and who is going to be able to figure out the way to crack the code?
Yeah, and this has got to be a challenge for the championship committee and the bookers of IPW as well, because they've got this unstoppable force now. Jayrilla, he's bulldozed his way all the way to the top of the company. He's got the heavyweight championship now, and he's showing no signs of letting up. So he's gone through opponents of various kinds all the way through, but largely regular-sized wrestlers, within the sort of mean average size of wrestlers. But now they throw him a bigger bone, and this Liam Erikson looks like a Viking from days of old. He looks like somebody that was burning down and pillaging villages all over in Europe back in 1028 or some year like that. He looks like a complete killer. So you see these two super heavyweights get in the ring. This match isn't going to go forever. They're not going to do every move known to man. That it's going to be slow, slugging power moves. But which one is going to get the advantage in this match and will probably be the one to win? Man, there were some moments in this with huge strikes, some moments in this of huge collisions. Jayrilla runs the ropes. Each time he bounces in those ropes, I think, are they going to hold, man, or is he going to
Yeah.
end up in the second row of seats? The fans will be killed if that happens. Absolutely. But of course, the ring holding up just fine. It could have broken in half with these two, but I mean, they put on a nice 5-minute match. This wasn't going to go long. Um, we had never seen Jayrilla really staggered like this before. I mean, he actually looked like he was in trouble finally for a couple moments in this match. Such was the power of Liam Erikson. But Jayrilla always comes around. He's undefeated in this company. He hits the Hollow Earth slam, hits the big splash, and gets the 1, 2, 3, and another successful title defense for the Great Ape Jayrilla. You got to wonder what's next. If the big man Liam Erikson can't put him down, who is going to? It's going to take intelligence, is what I think. Somebody's going to have to try and outsmart Jayrilla. And very interesting because we see the promo from James Shaw after the match. He's not satisfied with his position here. He doesn't like it that Jayrilla's got the big belt in this. And I quote from James Shaw's promo after this match. He says, and I quote, "I plan to conquer you, Jayrilla, just like David demolished Goliath, just like the righteous shattered the golden calf." Ooh, wow, that's some strong mythological shit right there. James Shaw gonna break it down to bare bones. He's not gonna go easy on Jayrilla. He's not gonna sit in that second spot in the company. He wants his belt back. He plans to get it. And if that's not a threat to Jayrilla's reign, I don't know what is. Because James Shaw, if he doesn't have the size and the strength and the power to win this belt, he's going to find a way to do it through intelligence and conniving and lying and cheating. You know that he's developing. We've got some more shows that we can review on this too to see where this goes. Can't wait to get to those.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. And again, yeah, Shaw ducking the opportunity put down by Benny Keane, the cornerman for Jayrilla, to have a rematch that night. Shaw's going to do it on his own terms, not on Jayrilla's terms. But I want to give before we end the show here, Papa Spokes, just an idea of how big these two men were in this matchup, because I wrote down the weight that was given for both Liam Erikson and for Jayrilla. And Liam Erikson, they kept saying, came in at 150 kilograms. Now, a conversion to those of us who go on the pound system, 150 kilograms is approximately 330.7 pounds. Yes, that is how big Liam Erikson comes in at. But Jayrilla clocks in at a whopping 200 kilograms, which is equivalent to 440.93 pounds. These are big ass men in that ring, Papa Smoke. This is the kind of weight you hear when tag teams are coming down to the ring between these guys, and that is a lot of beef in that ring. Great stuff. Shout out to our good friend Jayrilla and all you wonderful people over in IPW New Zealand. We absolutely love talking about your stuff. And even though we might talk a little bit of shit here sometimes, it's all out of love. We appreciate everything you all do in all of these companies that we cover. But yeah, Papa Smokes, once again, a great show from our friends at IPW.
Very much so. This show kind of had, I mean, this was their winter show held in June, which is kind of interesting. They are on the other side of the world from us. So June is our summer beginning, but it had the feeling of old things old storylines, and the previous storylines have kind of wrapped up, and then new ones are beginning. You can see that this is a card made to build something new, just the start of a new segment for IPW. They're gonna push certain wrestlers that they didn't before. They're gonna feature certain personalities that they haven't before, and just this will be all new. So I enjoy seeing the beginning of this, the genesis, so to speak, of the program they're going to go on probably for the next months or possibly even year or more. And can't wait. I want to be along for the ride because I'm loving the New Zealand wrestling. Love when we get to review their shows on Ring Respect Radio.
You bet. And there's going to be more of that coming up very, very soon. But next week here on Ring Respect Radio, Pop Smokes, I think we got to take a trip back in time, something called a trip through the territories. Why don't you tell the people what they can expect from next week's program?
Oh, hell yeah. We're going to take a time travel and a space travel as well from back to the 70s and 80s of the territory era. And next week, we're going to focus in on some more Southern fried wrestling, Munson. You know how Papa Smokes loves that Southern wrestling. So we are going to be going down to Nashville, Tennessee with the promoter Nick Goulas and others. We'll go through the various ownerships and the business that they were doing down in Nashville, some of the famous matches, some of the famous feuds, and any other points of interest we can find to discuss amongst all the wrestling action that happened in Nashville. Had some very, very hot years alongside Memphis, which was a big hot spot in Tennessee as well. Nashville, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fiery.
Yeah, you bet. I can't wait for that. And of course, the week after that, if all goes well, we'll look at trying to bring in Ed Fries to the show and see if we can't get a chaotic wrestling review. Hang tight. We will confirm that once we're able to confirm that for sure. But yes, in the meantime and in between time, Papa Smokes, that ticker's costing me a whole lot of money. So why don't you go and let the people know where they can find you, what you get coming up.
All right, everybody. You can find me alongside my co-host Bobby Munson on OLE podcasts each week, Thursday for Ring Respect Radio. Saturday, we release a match doing commentary for PPW each week on our YouTube channel. Other than that, I can be found on Elon Musk's free speech wonderland, known as X. I am at smokes_papa, and also allegedly on Twitch at papa_smokes_.
That's where you'll find Papa Smokes. As for me, Bobby Munson, over on the X, it's real Bobby Munson, Instagram threads, Video Bros SK, Twitch, Video Bro _Bobby Munson, Blue Sky, Bobby Munson.bsky.social. And where you're going to find me next, outside of what Pop Smokes just dropped about Prairie Pro Wrestling on a Saturday afternoon, you can catch me right here on the channel, Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern time, joined by Andre C. And I got a whole lot to talk about. We're going to talk about my Manchester United team and how we're nothing but a bunch of convicts and, a bunch of convicts and people who don't know when to shut their mouths and not say the wrong things, because we got match bans, we got people under criminal investigations, and we got people saying shit that should have them kicked out of the country over there. But we're going to be talking about all that and your weekend sports this coming Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Mangler, thank you for being here as always. Always appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for the love and support as always here on the channel. That is where you're going to find me, but you can also catch a lot of great shows right here on OLE Podcast, where we're broadcasting Papa Smokes. You can catch us on all social media as well as YouTube and Twitch. And hey, guess what? If you have the opportunity, you're watching on a mobile phone, whether on replay or live, well, actually, you got to do it on a replay. So if you're watching live, go back in another day or two and use your hype points. You get 3 hype points per week. You can give them to shows just like ours. We would love that support here on Ring Respect Radio, because we did make it one time to number 46 on the Canadian charts. Yes, get those hypes in, see how far we can take this thing. And if you haven't done so already, you're new to the channel, and if you got any form of entertainment here, go ahead and click the subscribe button down below, hit that notification bell, give this video a thumbs up, and in that comment section, why don't you let us know what was your favorite match from IPW New Zealand, and is there another indie promotion that Papa Smokes and I should be checking out? That's going to be it for this week on Ring Respect Radio. We're going to see you in a week's time. Until then, take care, everybody.